Next, we look at the adilla, or the proofs presented by the minority, who are of the opinion that the isti'adha is recited after recitation of the Quran, Surah Fatiha being our example. So they cite a verse in Surah Nahl, verse 98, which is of course the primary source, the Quran. Our secondary source would be the ahadith, the authentic prophetic narrations of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. As for the first, the Quran, Surah Nahl, verse 98, Allah Ta'ala says, فَإِذَا the word here, إِذَا قَرَأْتَ الْقُرْآنَ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ, which is translated as whenever or when, إِذَا, or if, in fact, you recite the Quran, فَإِذَا قَرَأْتَ الْقُرْآنَ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ. That's a command. فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ, make the isti'adha, or seek refuge with Allah. So here we have what is called a shart, a condition, and then after the shart we have what is called the jaza, which we can translate as the consequence of that condition. So what's the condition? The condition is either when. When you do this, that should happen. So we are told here, when you read the Quran, فَإِذَا قَرَأْتَ الْقُرْآنَ, then what? فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ, seek refuge or protection, seek Allah's protection from shaitan. Now this indicates to us, according to the minority opinion, that the isti'adha is recited post-qira'ah, or after the Quran, that when this shart or conditional, this is a conditional sentence, when this condition occurs, what's the condition? When you reading Quran, then what must you do? You have to seek refuge with Allah. And also the past tense is used here. إِذَا قَرَأْتَ, when you have read the Quran, seek refuge with Allah, His protection from the accursed shaitan. And that, according to the language, you cannot argue here according to language that it is first a recitation, and once that is done, then there is seeking refuge and Allah's protection from the accursed shaitan. So they argue further that this is most appropriate and the best reason because whoever recites the Quran, there is no doubt that that person is deserving of a great reward. But that reward will come after that. They are deserving of that reward, but that reward is dependent on the person not nullifying the reward he is deserving of. And one of the nullifiers of reward is ujub, self-loathing, self-glorification, where you make yourself great, you are ajib with yourself, you are fascinated with yourself, you are impressed that I did so much, wow, I am deserving. That pollutes the deed. And the Prophet ﷺ said that there are three things, ثَلَاثٌ muhlikat, three things destroy a person. And number one is al-ujub, self-loathing, self-satisfaction, being impressed with the self. For this reason, Allah Ta'ala instructed us to seek refuge from the shaitan, because he could, or the person could commit an act after the recitation of the Quran. An example here is being impressed with his own amount of recitation. Look, we are all human, so I could get up at night, read the Quran, and then the next day I feel greater than other people. And I think to myself, wow, they slept, poor people, and I was up all night. One scholar, in fact, went to his teacher and told his teacher, it's a shame people slept at night while we stood up and prayed. And the teacher told him, what you said now is worse than what you are worse off than them. You should have slept, it would have been far better for you. So therefore, we seek refuge from Allah Ta'ala, with Allah Ta'ala, from the shaitan after the recitation, so that if anything occurred to us that might spoil our recitation, we sought refuge with Allah from the shaitan, and that will allow our reward to be intact and will not affect our good deeds and nullify the thawab.